How can I use a DLL file from Python? What is the easiest way to use a DLL file from within Python? Specifically, how can this be done without writing any additional wrapper C++ code to expose the functionality to Python? Native Python functionality is strongly preferred over using a third-party library.
For ease of use, C types is the way to go. The following example of C types is from actual code I've written in Python 2.5. This has been, by far, the easiest way I've found for doing what you ask. The C-type stuff has all the C-type data types int, char, short, void asterisk, and so on, and can pass by value or reference. It can also return specific data types, although my example doesn't do that. The HIL API returns values by modifying a variable passed by reference. In terms of the specific example shown above, IBM's LAPI is a fairly consistent interface. All calls pass 4 void pointers. LAPI sends the return code back through the fourth parameter, a pointer to an int, so, while I specify int as the return type, I can safely ignore it, as per IBM's documentation here. In other words, the C variant of the function would be. This makes for a single, simple C-types function able to do anything the LAPI library provides, but it's likely that other libraries will need a separate C-types function set up per library function. The return value from winfunctype is a function prototype, but you still have to set up more parameter information over and above the types. Each tuple in HLAPIparams has a parameter direction, 1 equals input, 2 equals output, and so on, a parameter name and a default value. See the C-types doco for details. Once you have the prototype and parameter information, you can create a Python callable CLAPI with which to call the function. You simply create the needed variable, p1 through p4 in my case, and call the function with them.
This page has a very simple example of calling functions from a DLL file. Paraphrasing the details here for completeness. It's very easy to call a DLL function in Python. I have a self-made DLL file with 2 functions, add and sub, which take 2 arguments. Add a, b, returns addition of 2 numbers, sub, a, b, returns subtraction of 2 numbers. The name of the DLL file will be demo.dll program. Output.
Building a DLL and linking it under Python using C types. I present a fully worked example on how building a shared library and using it under Python by means of C types. I consider the Windows case and deal with DLLs. 2 steps are needed. Build the DLL using Visual Studio's compiler either from the command line or from the IDE. Link the DLL under Python using C types. The shared library. The shared library I consider is the following and is contained in the testal.cpp file. The only function testal just receives an int and prints it. Building the DLL from the command line. To build a DLL with Visual Studio from the command line, run. To set the include path and then run. To build the DLL. Building the DLL from the IDE. Alternatively, the DLL can be built using Visual Studio as follows. File - new - project. Install - templates - Visual C++ - Windows - Win32 - Win32 project. Next. Application type - DLL. Additional options - empty project select. Additional options - precompiled header unselect. Project - properties - configuration manager - active solution platform x64. Project - properties - configuration manager - active solution configuration release. Linking the DLL under Python. Under Python, do the following.
Maybe with dispatch. Whereas Gamekeeper is a registered DLL file on the system. After that, you can access functions just by calling them.
C types will be the easiest thing to use, but Ms. using it makes Python subject to crashing. If you are trying to do something quickly, and you are careful, it's great. I would encourage you to check out Boost Python. Yes, it requires that you write some C++ code and have a C++ compiler, but you don't actually need to learn C++ to use it, and you can get a free, as in beer, C++ compiler from Microsoft.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.